Community says goodbye to an LMPD officer killed in the line of duty.
WDRB's Stefan Johnson shows us how people across Kentuckiana are honoring the life and legacy of Officer Zachary Cottongim. Stefan?
Well, Officer Cottongim's final resting place is behind me here at Cave Hill Cemetery. He died in the line of duty on Saturday, as we've been sharing with the public. And since then, there's been so much love and support for his family and his fellow officers.
And by making that statement to the family and showing that honor to Officer Cottongim, they also make that statement about the other officers who continue to serve and let them know that they're appreciated.
After Officer Cottongim's funeral, his body was escorted from Southeast Christian Church to Cave Hill Cemetery. The procession was made up of hundreds of police cars from across the region, obviously Metro Police and Kentucky State Police, but there were also police cars from Henderson, Kentucky, and as far away as Nashville, Tennessee, and nearly 300 cars were parked inside the cemetery for the graveside service, which included a 21-gun salute, taps, and a final radio call. Not everyone was allowed inside the cemetery, but for people like Deborah Starks, they came and stood outside at the entrance because they wanted to pay their respects.
It's just that I felt that I needed to come this morning, so I thought I'd come across the bridge and pay my support because, you know, there's a lot of good police officers in Indiana and I support them.
Officer Cottongim was a 7-year veteran of the police department assigned to LMPD's 1st Division. He leaves behind a loving wife, 2 young children, parents, and a grieving community. WDRB's Lauren Smith takes us inside the emotional service where his family and fellow officers said a final goodbye.
My heart is heavy as I stand here today. We should not be here.
LMPD Chief Erica Shields voicing what many are feeling. Heavy hearts for a life cut short, a family, a police force, a city in mourning.
To the police here, Zach's legacy will always be that of a cop. And we have an obligation to keep the profession one of integrity and common decency. It is the least we can do for Zach.
Zachary Cottongim remembered as one who was determined to follow in the footsteps of his father, also a police officer. Family friend Sergeant Dave Burns, joined by Cottongim's widow, Jamie, and his fellow officers of the 1st Division.
Many adjectives were used to describe Zach: honor, courage, selfless, dedicated, solid.
Burns says Cottongim struggled early in his career, but eventually found his footing and was dedicated to serving others.
This city and this country has been in a bad way. This 29-year-old hero has given us the blueprint to fix it. And all you have to do is make your corner of the world a better place. Be like Zach.
Cottongim remembered for his devotion not just to his job, but most importantly to his family. That love on display to the end. A police chaplain telling the story of a truck driver who approached Cottongim shortly after the accident that would eventually claim his life.
And in the pain and agony that Zach was in, this gentleman says, "I see that you're married, that you have a wife." And he looked up, Zach looked up, and in all his pain, gave a big smile. So that's how much he loves you, Jamie. Always remember that.
A husband, a father, a son, a hero, now at rest.
We don't do everything right in our profession, which is well documented. But our shared vulnerabilities have allowed us to know how to embrace our heroes. And Zach is absolutely a hero.
Lawrence Smith, WDRB News.